Hey everybody, I am David, and today is going to be my video called How to Watch the Spider-Man Movies. Obviously there are many Spider-Man movies, and if you are someone that's not well educated in some of these movies and which one is connected to what and how, do not worry, I'm going to help you out with this in time for Spider-Man Homecoming. So if you still want to watch the older Spider-Man movies, you can. Plus, I'm going to add a few other movies into the mix to make your watchability in Spider-Man Homecoming a little bit more enjoyable if you enjoy having movie marathons like I do. So this is more for people that are not part of nerd culture, that are not aware of, movies connecting to certain ones. This is for the uneducated nerd. Not the ones that obviously spend a lot of time on the internet and already are in the know of what's going on. But hey, if you guys want to chime in on the bottom and give me your thoughts on what movies, how to binge certain franchises, go ahead down there too. And comment below and tell me whatever. So let's get through this. Let's start off with the basics. There are three separate Spider-Man movies that do not connect to one another. There is the Tobey Maguire films, which is Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3. So those three Spider-Mans are one, the Tobey Maguire trilogy, we'll call it. And then we have the two Andrew Garfield movies, which are The Amazing Spider-Man and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Easy enough, right? Well, now we get to the newest Spider-Man, Spider-Man Homecoming, which right now it's by itself, but what makes it a little bit more fun and complex is the universe that it's in, which is, you probably heard this going around your, if you have family or friends that are nerds like myself, it's called the Marvel Cinematic Universe, sometimes also referred to the MCU. And this universe is, I think there's like a total of 16 movies right now. We're pretty soon, next year, we're going to have 20. So if you want a little cheat sheet, you don't have to watch all the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies to get what's going on in Spider-Man Homecoming. Actually, as a matter of fact, you don't really need to watch any of them at all. Apparently, it's a nice little movie that stands nicely on its own. But if you want to get a little bit more in-depth at some of the characters that are in this movie, there are a few movies you might want to check out. Now, the two big ones, two big supporting characters, one that is a supporting character, one that is more of a cameo role, but you still might want to know him anyways, because in one of his solo movies, Spider-Man actually made his first appearance in that one last year. So we'll get to it. Let's start off with the beginning. The first movie you might want to check out is Captain America: The First Avenger. This is the movie where Captain America gets his powers back in World War II, shows how he started off, and even brings him into the present day by the end of the movie. Spoiler alert. Next, you want to go into Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie with Robert Downey Jr. You know how you know this one is the first one? Because Terrence Howard is playing Rhodey in this one, where he's later replaced by Don Cheadle. In the next movie you want to watch, Iron Man 2, which starts expanding the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And if you haven't heard yet, apparently Peter Parker makes his first little appearance in this movie. First unofficial appearance, because it was just recently retconned last week, apparently, where Kevin Feige and Tom Holland confirmed that little boy, who before wasn't Peter Parker, now is Peter Parker officially. They made that official, so there you go. When you watch Iron Man 2, now you can know, hey, that's him. Gotta love when they retcon things. Next, you want to go into The Avengers. The Avengers is the movie that changed the game in superhero movies. That's why all these movies now want to make their own cinematic universe that brings together all these characters together. And you don't have to worry about Hulk or Thor because they don't factor heavily into Spider-Man's story yet. Right now, it's only Captain America and Iron Man that factor heavily into Peter's journey. Next, you want to go into Iron Man 3. That's the final chapter for Iron Man's solo adventures. Then you want to go into Captain America, the Winter Soldier. We got some shakeups with S.H.I.E.L.D. going on in this one. Next, you want to go into Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, if you start paying attention to these Avengers movies where Captain America and Iron Man meet, there is a little bit of tension between them that starts to build up, which brings us perfectly into the next movie, Captain America Civil War, where Tony and Captain America, take sides, leading two different teams, Team Captain and Team Iron Man, and they go at it. And the great thing about this movie is this is the one that really sets up Spider-Man Homecoming, because Spider-Man, played by Tom Holland, is introduced in this film. And it's a nice little doorway into Homecoming. Now, some of you might be wondering, but wait, David, it doesn't show how Spider-Man got his powers. That's the whole point. Kevin Feige, who's been producing all these films, even before the Marvel Cinematic Universe was a thing, he has said that he wanted to try to avoid the origin story of Spider-Man because it had already been done twice in the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield films. So the whole point of this film was to already just launch him as Spider-Man and just put him into the MCU. In this version, he's already been Spider-Man for 1 year. So if you do need an origin story, you can always pick either the Tobey Maguire or the Andrew Garfield version, or just watch both versions. Since both of them are good in different ways, I think they both have something unique to offer. The one that I would suggest, though, would probably be The Amazing Spider-Man, and here's the reason why. The Amazing Spider-Man actually has the organic web shooters. Oh, sorry, no, that's the Tobey Maguire one. This one, The Amazing Spider-Man, is the one that has mechanical web shooters. The mechanical ones, where the organic ones actually came out of his body, the webbing actually came out of his hands. There were like holes in his hands, I guess, that threw out webbing. This one, the mechanical webbing, is the one that he builds, and that's the one that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is doing. They're using mechanical webbing. So if you want to see him building his mechanical webbing, but it doesn't really connect. I just want to make sure you guys understand that you don't need to watch those ones because those ones don't connect at all. It's a separate Spider-Man. But if you want to get an idea of how Spider-Man got his powers, I guess that's the one you would watch, maybe. I don't know. Either one is fine, I think. You'll just be confused. Wait a minute, I thought in the other Spider-Man movie he had organic webbing. Well, there's two different versions that show two different sides of the story. So pick whichever one you want. With that being said, I'm ending this video here. I hope this was a useful video to you, especially if you have never seen any of the Spider-Man movies before or some of these great MCU movies. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think it's one of the best things in theaters since 2008. And I've been loving every movie they've been throwing out. Then again, I like a lot of superhero movies. I even enjoy all the Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man, well, I'll get to my ranking of the Spider-Man movies very soon. I'm just waiting to see Spider-Man Homecoming this Friday. So I'm already prepared. I've been having my Spider-Man marathon this week. And with that being said, guys, I'm ending this video here. And until next time, take care.